Hey, it's Angie, the lead intimacy guru, and I am back today. Just wanted to talk to the married couples specifically, but couples that are in committed relationships, long term relationships, wanting to talk a little bit about sex in marriage. Sex in marriage gets a really bad rap. A lot of people are like, okay, sex is boring, sex doesn't happen. What is sex? What? Do you even know where to go anymore? Do you know how to get me excited anymore? All of those things. So we are going to talk about how to get that sex game back up in relationships, y'all, and in marriages, right? Because once you've been with someone for a while and you all have obligations the day in and day out together, yes, things can change a little bit. Like, don't beat yourself up about the fact that you're not hanging from chandeliers anymore, okay? You're not in the back seat of cars anymore, and you're not as spontaneous as you once were, and you're not into the whole voyeurism, or you may see some things on social media and you're like, I wish he would bend me over a balcony on a trip, and all of those things, right? So don't beat yourself up. It happens, there's cycles in relationships. It doesn't mean that you can't get back on track. Okay, so I just wanted to put that out there. First things first, if you're in that place right now where you're like, listen, she just does not seem like she wants this, she's not into it, she never initiates anything, or you're like, my husband is just horrible in bed. Like, what are we doing? What is that? We gonna change all of that today. But I'm not gonna stay too long on this topic. I'm just gonna give like a few I want to say like just things that could be going on in the relationship that's causing the sex to kind of go stale. But I am going to do a longer video and kind of really go in deeper and dive in deeper. And that one is where you may want to take out, a little notepad or your phone and take some notes. But for this one, I just wanted to kind of start putting something in your head, something to think about and something to take back, in your relationship at home. Some things that you can just implement right away. I'm always about let's get some things, let's get you all some quick wins, right? Because quick wins encourage us to keep trying. Like when it takes us forever to achieve a goal, sometimes, no pun intended, sometimes when it takes a really long time, it can be very discouraging. So I want to give you some quick wins, something that you can implement right away, get that sex life popping right away in your marriage, in your relationship, because it's time out for that, y'all. Okay, so I know. See, I'm going to the left, but I gotta say this: life is to be lived, is to be enjoyed. Sex is a part of living. Okay, so if you are going through your life and you're experiencing bad sex, and you have a partner, like someone that you are with on a very regular basis, whether you live with them, you're married to them, you see them on a very consistent basis, and you're not having good sex. I'm not talking about the quantity. I'm talking about more so the quality. If you are having bad sex right now, Angie is telling you, no, stop. We're going to get that right, okay? So we're going to get that right starting today. So as long as you're ready to kind of like switch that up a little bit, let's get on track with the sex life, you have come to the right place, okay? So let's kick this off with expectations right away. You got to think about where you were in your relationship when you all first got together and where you are now. Think about the changes that have occurred. I'm talking everything from, switching jobs or a move. You've had children. You're taking care of a sick parent. You yourself have had health issues. There's been weight gain. There's like so many things, so many stressors that come up in life that can cause our libidos to change a little bit. And as we continue to age, because I'm kind of talking to that demographic, over 30, more so like over 35. And there's a lot of changes that happens in our lives, not just with us, but the people around us, and our families, and people we're connected to. life, so those things do have a huge impact on the way we relate sexually, but that doesn't give us an excuse to have bad sex. That just means that the expectations may need to change a little bit, and we may need to switch up, a few things in the act of sex. That's it. So don't beat yourself up about it. Just switch up your expectations a little bit. What you did when you were 20, 22, even 29, it's going to look a lot different if you're 40, if you're 50, like just different. And so expectations, and I think it would be a really good idea for you to sit down and get very clear on your expectations with yourself, and then what you're expecting from your partner. And then after you make that list, go through that list and just really be honest, not be negative and say, okay, this could never happen, but say, where we are in our lives right now, is this really feasible? So for instance, if you have really small children and they're toddlers and they're running around the house, you're probably not gonna be having spontaneous sex at 12 p.m. in the afternoon at home. Unless you got a sitter, But yeah, so it's like, that's what I mean by switching up, like some of the expectations. So again, think about expectations and how that plays out in your life as it pertains to sex. Both parties should be taking initiative. That's the next thing. Unless you're in a situation right now in your marriage or your relationship where one person really enjoys being the dominant one. Okay, so if that one partner enjoys being dominant and the other person loves being submissive, then that works for you all. You don't have to change anything. I don't care what you see, on TV, social media, you hear people talking about. If that works for you all, then do it. But in a lot of relationships, both people like to feel like they are desired. And a lot of times that desire comes from each one of you all taking initiative from time to time. So don't forget to implement that. Make sure that you are leading with that sometimes, because everyone wants to be desired. Everyone wants to know that you're thinking about them and that you can't wait to get home to them and rip their clothes off, or, whatever it is that you want to do. So take initiative sometime. Be open-minded. That's the third thing. Be open-minded. And again, it all depends on the person, your personality, your relationship. Let's not get into this whole idea of this is how we've always done it. This is who I am. I'm not willing to change. As we grow and evolve, our interests grow and evolve as well. So whereas you may have been a little bit more vanilla, as they say, at the beginning of your marriage or relationship, meaning like you were fine with, okay, I kiss you here on your neck, I lay you down, and then I put it in. Okay. And then we go, and then we're done. So as we evolve, you may say, this time I want to try it this way. I would like you to stand over there, and I just want to look at you undress for a minute. That gets me going. Or I would love to see you do a dance, for me. Or let's try this outfit, or let's do some role playing. Like, try to be open, but try not to overwhelm your partner if your openness or your sexual appetite has increased a little bit faster than your partner's. Take it one step at a time. So if there's quite a few things that you're interested in, just talk about one thing that you're open to, that you would like to try in your marriage, your relationship. And if you're comfortable, as your partner is seeming a little uncomfortable, then ask them, is there anything that I can do to help you feel comfortable? Because I would love to try this with you, okay? I know it seems like, yeah, Angie, that's simple, but I've tried that before and it was a whole big argument. And that's the next thing I was gonna talk about is, let's talk about these things outside of when it's time to actually have sex. Because when you're in the act and the mood is going, and then you're like, like, you're not doing it right, and I want this, and I want, yeah, that's not really the time. A good time is if you all are having some quality time, maybe sitting and eating together, or just having a drink, or, just chilling, that's a good time to be like, hey, you know what I was thinking, like tonight, I want to do some things, and I want to do some things for you. Start off with what you can do for your partner, and then let them know what you would like. But definitely, build up that anticipation, that communication before you all are getting ready to actually have sex. So obviously, sex has to start a lot earlier for women specifically. Maybe the top of the day. We're ovens, you guys. So yeah, sometimes we're in that mood though to just go, and we're like, hey, I don't care what time it is, what we're doing, just let's get it cracking. But a lot of times we need something else that really encourages us to get us going. So try your best not to be one-sided in sex. I know that, you're either really excited or you just want to get one off real quick. If that's what your partner is into and they like, cool, go ahead and do your thing, get one off, I'm good. Hey, if it works. But a lot of times in relationships, people want to feel that their desires are being fulfilled as well and not just yours. So go into sex always thinking about how you can please your partner. And if both people are thinking that, trust me, y'all both gonna get what you want because you're both very intentional about, I want to get you there. And that other person is thinking the same thing. So you all are on the same page. But if someone is one-sided in this situation, just ain't gonna work. So also, not for vanity purposes, y'all, but you gotta exercise. You gotta move. You gotta take a walk. You gotta run, lift some weights, jump rope, dance, go skating, whatever you need to do to move that body, do it, okay? Because exercising releases, first of all, toxins. So it gets all of that out of your body, all of the junk, the things that you've been ingesting, the food, the drinks, and all of that. Get those toxins out, Of course, detox as well. But exercise, move your body. It helps you to be more flexible. It releases the endorphins, and so that's that happy drug, so to speak. And we start to feel a lot more comfortable in our bodies and what our bodies can do. Not just for vanity purposes, like what your body looks like, but what your body is capable of. That's a blessing in itself. When you can move your body and you can become a little bit more flexible, it makes sex a lot more enjoyable. So definitely move, you guys. We can't do this stagnant thing all the time and expect to have really good sex. So make sure you're exercising. And again, like I said in another video, the last thing is gratitude. Gratitude will take your sex life to a whole other level. Even when you're not having sex, start envisioning like, oh, I'm having bomb sex tonight. This is how it's gonna go down tonight. I know he gonna do this right, or she's gonna do this. Like, have some gratitude for your sex life. We put so much energy into so many other things, but sex is just as important. It bonds us, it brings us closer. And again, I'm not necessarily talking about the quantity, but more so the quality. Make it a priority in your life to connect with your partner sexually. And again, it doesn't have to be penetration. You all could be touching each other, rubbing each other, just pleasuring each other. You can use toys. You can just use your fingers. You can use your mouth. You can use your words. For those of us that are like really connected to energy, and have really enjoyed like energetic sex, like you can also say things to your partner, whisper something to them, give them that look, and that in itself is a turn on. So make sure that you are some way, some form, some way that you are incorporating these things into your life with your partner to increase that sex, make that sex more enjoyable. Because again, like I said, time out. We're not doing bad sex, y'all, in relationships no more. We taking it up a notch, okay? We want relationships to thrive. We want them to be exciting. We want to look forward to seeing our partner. That's what we want. We don't want to be sitting there like, why doesn't she ever do this? And why doesn't he ever do this? And this is why I'm over here and I'm hanging out over there because they're not doing X, Y, Z. We changing that today. So start with those few things and let me know what you think. Okay, I am so open to like emails, and private messages. I love when you all send me private messages and let me know like how these things are working for you. It warms my heart. I can't even I can't even describe. So I love to hear, when it's like, hey Angie, I tried this and this is what happened and this is what worked. Like, I love it. I love it. It fills my cup. And it excites me that I'm giving something of myself to help you guys. So enjoy that sex, y'all. And I will talk to you all later.